and welcome once again to the Daytona YouTube channel. My name is Barry Ferreira and today we are here in the McLaren part of our showroom to have a look at this, the 2023 McLaren GT that is available here at McLaren Johannesburg. We're going to be having a little deeper look as to what this car actually is and of course go into the details of this car in particular, the color, the interior of the car and all the options that it has. So what is the McLaren GT, you may be asking? Well, as the name would suggest, it is McLaren's take on what a GT car could and should be. Traditionally, a GT car is front-engined with lots of space for the occupants and a boot in the rear. What makes the GT unique is that it is still a mid-engine layout because McLaren wanted this to be a practical supercar, not just a GT car on its own. In terms of its engine, you've got a 4-litre twin-turbo V8 engine producing 612 horsepower, 456 kilowatts, and 630 Newton meters of torque. That means it's good for 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in just 3.1 seconds. That's only 0.2 of a second slower than some of McLaren's supercars. And of course, you have got a top speed of 326 kilometers an hour, meaning this car is no slouch. What further differentiates the McLaren GT from any other traditional GT car is the fact that it is very light. It tops the scales at just 1,530 kilograms. Now it is able to do this thanks to the use of a carbon fiber chassis, which is unique in the GT space. It's not usually something that is very common. And as you can see, it still maintains those sleek supercar looks, but not missing out on the practicality, which we will delve in right now. Now, as we move towards the back of the car, we can start to see what makes it the GT in the McLaren GT. In addition to the front storage space, which is usual in a supercar, you've got 150 litres at the front, but at the back you've got an additional 420 litres of boot space, meaning you've got a combined total capacity of 570 litres, which for a supercar is pretty much unheard of. And of course, you can access it using the powered tailgate if you've got a handful of luggage, for example. And as a matter of fact, you can actually fit a full-size set of golf clubs in the back of the car, which, you know, if you'd like to go, or if you like your golf, for example, it would come in very, very handy indeed. Now, moving into the interior of the vehicle, let's have a little discussion of the spec of this particular car. This car is specified in an anthracite grey, which is a metallic grey colour on the exterior of the car, whereas in the interior, we've got a lovely, lovely combination of cream over black, which gives a very, very classy feel to this car. But to make it pop that little bit extra, and which sets it apart to every other GT in this country, is that it's got McLaren orange brake calipers for that extra bit of zestiness and excitement to bring towards the car. Of course, the interior is very, very important when it comes to a GT car. After all, it's where he or she will be spending very, very long periods of time driving down from Joburg to Durban or down the Garden Route, for example. And McLaren have not disappointed. But even in the interior, McLaren have put their own twist on the interior of the car, because gone is the wood veneer that you might be expecting in a traditional GT car, but wood is heavy. Instead, you've got much more modern materials inside here. You've got your very tactile brushed aluminium shifter paddles, which just feel absolutely great to the touch. You've got your brushed aluminium surrounds here on your steering wheel, as well as the gloss black finish on various parts of the interior as well. This particular car is optioned with the 12-speaker Bowers & Wilkins sound system, which sounds absolutely great for those long journeys down to the coast. And in addition to that, you can set your ambient lighting to whichever color you choose on the options here on the screen. And of course, everything is very tactile, everything is very intuitive and easy to use, as with any other McLaren model. Now, as you can imagine, being a McLaren, the engine is still a very prominent part of this car, and that 4-litre twin-turbo V8 sounds absolutely delightful. Let's have a little start up and listen to the change of tone between normal mode or comfort and sport. And there you go, as the car continues to burble behind me, that's a brief look at this 2023 McLaren GT that we have available here at McLaren Johannesburg. Should Should you wish to have more information about this car, make sure to use the contact information down below or to visit us here at Daytona in Melrose Arch. Until next time, goodbye.